Okay, this is the lesson for 9-5, negative and zero exponents. So we're going to start as we have started before with going to expanded form, but this time it's a little different. We're going to do expanded form on the left, and we're going to use our rule for division on the right, because I want you to be able to see different things here. So let me just do it in a different color so we see that. Across the top, I'm going to have x cubed, and on the bottom, I'm going to have x to the fifth. Okay. Let's do this. Okay. On the bottom, I have 5 x's. Put that right up underneath. And then we're going to cancel, just like we did yesterday. But I want you to notice a little difference of what we did, what we're doing now. Okay? When I solved this one, I canceled the x's. Now, yesterday, all the x's on the bottom canceled. Today, there are ones on the bottom left. So when you cancel, everything on the top becomes 1. This divided by this is 1 times 1 times 1. So what I'm left with is 1 over x squared. So this is different than what you did before, 1 over x squared. Okay, we're going to repeat that. So go ahead and you can, oh wait, let me do this over here and then we'll talk about that. When I do the exact same problem, x cubed over x to the fifth, and I use the rule for division, that's going to be x, and I'm going to subtract the exponents. We talked about that yesterday. So 3 minus 5 is negative 2. So these are the answers, this red one here and this, to the exact same problem. They're just shown differently. Over here, x. And that is going to give me, okay, so again, I canceled what's on the top. The x that you have left is on the bottom. So in your answer, you should make sure that x that you have left is on the bottom or in the denominator of the fraction. When I do that over here, remember that this is like x to the 1. So I'm going to subtract the exponents. 1 minus 2 makes this x to the negative 1. So 1 over x and x to the negative 1 are answers to the same problem, and that's what we're going to be looking at. On the top here, on the bottom I have 5 x's. And I'm going to cancel. So on the top, I canceled everything, so I'm going to put a 1, not a 0. And on the bottom, I have x to the third. And again, over here, I have the exact same problem, except I'm just going to do it with the rule for division. So I get x to the negative third. 2 minus 5 is negative 3. So looking at, these are both the answer to the exact same problem. We're going to look for a relationship between the negative exponents and this. So look at the blue to the red, the blue to the red, the blue to the red. Okay? And what would you think that this is? So hopefully you might say that x to the negative n is the same as 1 over x to the n power. So I want to emphasize here that negative exponents don't make the number negative. It means instead of multiplying something a bunch of times, it means divide it by this a bunch of times. So x squared meant multiply x by x. X to the negative 2 is 1 over x times 1 over x. I talked about moving the variable over the fraction bar will change the sign of the exponent. So for example, if I have x to the negative 2, that's the same as x to the negative 2 over 1. To make the exponent positive, just move the x squared to the bottom. If I have 1 over x to the negative 3, okay, and the negative exponent is in the denominator, to make it positive, move it to the numerator. We're going to look at one more rule here. And this one, a lot of you picked this up yesterday. Oops, sorry for the sideways. And if I use subtraction here, I get 3 minus 3, which is 0. 2 minus 2 is 0. Over here, these would all cancel. And remember, when everything cancels, you don't get 0. What's 3 divided by 3? 1. What's a million divided by a million? 1. So x cubed divided by x cubed is going to equal 1. And this is going to equal 1. And a lot of you were doing this yesterday. We had an example where all the x's canceled, and you knew not to put them there, but you didn't put 0. You had 1. So same problem, done with different methods, expanded form versus the rule. So you can hopefully see a relationship between raising a power, something to the power 0, and getting 1. All right, over here you're going to write your rules. I can't pause it. And I get 1. This is x to the a plus b. And I would use this little, again, if you need to pause when I'm done, you can do that. I'm limited with YouTube how long my videos can be. But this is a good place to highlight, put a star in, because it's one place where all of your exponent rules are. Oops, sorry. So if you need to push pause here to make sure you have all these rules, we've gone through all of these. Oop, I got one more down here. So x to the a over y to the a. Okay, what we're going to do now is you are going to work on these examples. Okay, work on those by yourself, and then you're going to come back, push pause, then come back and check your answers. Okay, I've worked through these because, again, I'm limited by YouTube. In this one, I subtracted 5 minus 7. I got -2. Anything to the negative exponent, you just put it on the other part of the fraction. So x to the -2 is the same as 1 over x squared. Over here, I subtracted -3 from 4. -3 minus 4 is -7. To write it as a positive exponent, I put it on the bottom of the fraction. In this problem, I added -7 plus 4 because I'm multiplying. -7 plus 4 is -3. X to the -3 can be rewritten as 1 over x cubed. In this one, I made sure to square the 3 and to multiply the -5 and 2. Now, I left it like this because anything with a positive exponent, you see the 3, is that a positive or a negative exponent? That's a positive, so it goes on the top of the fraction. The x has a negative exponent. That goes to the bottom of the fraction. So that just helps me sort them. And then I squared the 3, which was 9. In this one, -3 minus -3 is 0. Anything to the 0 power is 1. Over here, 5 minus 7 is -2. 6 minus 6 is 0. Anything to the 0 power is 1, so that pretty much knocks out the b. And a to the -2 is rewritten as 1 over a squared. In the next one, I multiplied the -2 and the -3. I got 6. -2 times 4 is -8. Okay, x, positive or negative exponent? Positive. Okay, you go on the top. Y, positive or negative exponent? Negative. You go on the bottom. The 15 and the 3 in the next one, I just divided those, and then I subtracted the exponent on the a. And then I said again, okay, 5, positive or negative exponent? Positive. You go to the top. A, positive or negative exponent? Negative exponent. You go to the bottom. Oop, that's the wrong one, sorry. Then you're going to go to the next slide, which might be here. And here are those problems. Copy these down, push pause, and work through these. I have these worked out as well. Over here, I canceled the 6 and the 12. That's where the 1/2 came from. Oh, I didn't finish this one. 9 minus a negative 4 is 13. So you can just leave it at that, or because r is a positive exponent, you could put it on the top and put the 2 on the bottom. I would accept either one of those answers, this one or this one. In the next one, the first thing I did was y to the third, x to the third. That's where this came from. Then I said, okay, x to the 5th, x cubed. I subtracted their exponents. 5 minus 3 is 2. Y cubed, y to the 4th, 3 minus 4 is negative 1. And then I did the same thing. Okay, x, positive or negative exponent? Positive. You go on the top. Y, positive or negative exponent? Negative. You go on the bottom. So that your final answer is there. In the next example, anything to the 0 is 1. So I really just kind of crossed that out and wrote 1. 1 times 1 over x cubed is 1 over x cubed. Not too bad. In this one here, I did this in blue because the work started to run together. So I did 3 times 6, that's where the 18 came from. 3 times 2 is 6. 5 times 4 is 20, that's where that came from. 5 times 3 is 15. Then I looked at the x's. 18 minus 20 is x to the negative 2. 6 minus 15 is y to the negative 9. So again, I started, okay, x, positive or negative exponent? Negative. You go on the bottom. Y, positive or negative exponent? Negative. You go on the bottom. And then if you don't have anything to put on the top, you put a 1. That's where that came from. In the next one, I cubed the 2. That's the 2 to the 3rd. I cubed the t. And I multiplied the 2 and the 3. That's how I got p to the 6th. 2 to the 4th. 2 times 4 is t to the 8th. P to the 4th. Then I went piece by piece and subtracted exponents. 3 minus 4 is negative 1. 3 minus 8 is negative 5. 6 minus 4 is 2. And then again, I went piece by piece. All right, 2, you have a negative exponent. You go on the bottom. T, you have a negative exponent. You go on the bottom. P, you have a positive exponent. You go on the top. So again, pause through this. I know I explained them very quickly, but if you pause and go back to the ones you need, then hopefully that'll work out.